West Ham, Pete, a swap deal potentially? Kudus for Trossard plus cash this winter or summer. We know Arsenal have been interested in Kudus in the past. West Ham looking for kind of that second striker to add. Maybe Trossard is the answer. Any truth to this one?
I can't see it myself. There's obviously been interest previously from Arsenal and Kudos, so maybe that's where this link's been resurfaced. And obviously he's had an unhappy time of late, Mohamed Kudos, with that sending off to Tottenham and now a 5-game ban as well for him. So he's a big miss for West Ham. Maybe he's not been at his best form so far this season as well, but we know on his day he is one of the best attacking players in the Premier League. I think Arsenal are probably lacking cover in some of those attacking areas. But I just think West Ham wouldn't consider selling Mohamed Kudus to one of their London rivals in Arsenal, and I don't think Trossard himself probably would be interested potentially in a move to West Ham. He's getting lots of game time at Arsenal right now as well, with the injuries to the likes of Odegaard and others. So the last I heard was that Arsenal were trying to tie down Trossard to a new contract, and those talks are ongoing because there's been interest from the Saudi Pro League and Leandro Trossard as well. I just don't see this deal happening. We don't often see too many of these big swap deals happening in the Premier League. Is probably more prevalent in the other European leagues. So I think this one's a bit of a pie in the sky probably. In this one I don't see a potential swap deal involving Kudus and Trossard. Definitely not happening in January, but whether Arsenal maybe try and make a move for Kudus in the summer will remains to be seen.
And Paul, according to Football Insider, Lopetegui could be sacked at any moment now by West Ham. They're not obviously in the best run of form, just 11 points, can't string a run of games together. They absolutely need to beat Everton ahead of the international break. Are they regretting not finalizing a deal for Ruben Amorim this past summer, who was another name linked with this job?
Well, that's not the words that West Ham co-owner David Sullivan's come out with this morning. He's fully backed his manager in a statement. He said, I'm not, these are my words, not his. I'm trying to remember his quote, what I read this morning, something along the lines of, even if we get beat 5-0 by Everton, the manager will still be in charge. We trust the process. We trust the manager. They obviously employed him a short time ago, and he's a manager in which they entrust. And he said it's a project that needs time and will be given time. So I think from his statement this morning, it was, it's a clear. He's had the dreaded vote of support from the board, from the ownership, but it's a clear, strong stance that's coming out of West Ham, that we've employed a manager to do a job. We believe in the manager, and regardless of the result against Everton at the weekend, he'll still be in charge. Well, whether that's the case or not, the proof of the pudding's in the taster, isn't it? If they get beat against West Ham at the weekend, we'll see what they do. If he's true to his word, don't think he'll have to, because I generally don't think they'll lose to Everton at the weekend. I think it's a tough away game for Everton. I think that the London Stadium, West Ham have got enough players going forward in the final third to hurt Everton. I can't see anything but West Ham winning this weekend, so I think it'll all be hypothetical anyway. But the statement that David Sullivan put out this morning was quite strong in backing his manager.
And Pete, we know West Ham want another striker, and they tried a bunch this summer. Fulkrug's injury only elevates that issue. Could they make a move for 23-year-old Botafogo star Igor Jesus this winter?
Yeah, he's a name who's on the radar of a number of Premier League clubs. As you said, West Ham have been accredited with an interest in Jesus. He's had a very good season in Brazil. I think he's got 8 goals and 3 assists in 23 games for Botafogo, but I think the problem here for West Ham is that Botafogo don't need a sell, and I don't think the player himself is overly keen on a move away midway through the season. Botafogo are flying high in the Brazilian league, top of the table, look like they could win it, and playing in the Copa Libertadores as well is also such a huge thing for these South American players. So although West Ham might have a bit of an interest in Jesus, I don't see them being able to prize away the player from Botafogo at this stage. I think he's happy at the club. He's on a long-term contract as well, I think till 2028, so it's going to cost 2027 his contract is with Botafogo, so it'd take a huge fee from West Ham or any club to try and tempt Botafogo into selling him. And as I said, the player seems quite content there, so I think West Ham, if they are to bring in another striker in January, they might have to look elsewhere, but I don't think funds are readily available either at West Ham to go out and make a big name signing in the winter transfer window, because we know how much they spent in the summer transfer window. They really backed Julian Lopetegui in the window with the big signings such as Fulkrug as well, and getting Fulkrug back as soon as possible will almost be like a new signing, because the German just hasn't been able to show what he can offer West Ham so far, and I think once he does get fit and West Ham start improving a bit as well, you'll definitely see the best of Nicholas Fulkrug, and I do back him to score goals once he's fit.